We're here in the uplands of Scotland, and what we have here is a landscape that is very familiar to many parts of the UK. There's no trees, no scrub, and the only vegetation of any real note is grassland and heath. It is not a landscape that supports an abundance of wildlife. You can walk for miles in places like this and not see anything all day. This sense of nothingness has become normalised to us. It is all we know. It's only when you start to dig a little bit deeper that you realise that this is far from normal, and that many of our bare landscapes are an ecologically sick environment. Our landscapes used to be more biodiverse, containing other habitats such as forests, scrubs and wetlands, and these would have supported a wealth of biodiversity, including a variety of birds, insects, flowering plants, fungi and more. And it would have supported the larger beasts as well, such as lynx, wolves, boar and elk. However, due to human activity and changing land use over the course of thousands of years, these habitats and countless species have been all but lost, leaving us with tiny, precious fragments scattered across the country. Here we are in one of these ancient woodland fragments. Now, an ancient woodland is an area that has been continuously wooded since the year 1600 in England and Wales and 1750 in Scotland. Before these dates, the practice of planting woodland was generally uncommon, so therefore any wood that was present from those years is likely to be of natural origin. One way of telling if you're standing in ancient woodland is to identify what we call ancient woodland indicator species. Examples to name a few include bluebell, wood anemone, dog's mercury, wood sorrel, primrose, wild garlic and scaly male fern. These are plant species which thrive in ancient woodland habitats and are a sign that a wood has continuously stood here for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. You may even find some of these species in areas where there are no longer any trees. This often suggests that you're standing on a former ancient woodland site. The trees may be gone, but the ground flora that's managed to survive provides an indicator of the area's wooded past. These fragments have managed to cling on throughout history for a number of reasons. It's partly down to a little bit of luck, where the people of the past have decided to spare these woods from agriculture and development. And in other places, these habitats can be found in steep, tight and largely inaccessible ravines which are protected from overgrazing by animals like sheep and deer. Ancient woodlands are incredibly special places which have taken hundreds, if not thousands, of years to develop. They are irreplaceable habitats. The rich soil that they stand on is a result of the continuous recycling of nutrients from dropped leaves and dead wood, which nourishes the soil and injects life into the plants and trees around them and creates this unique habitat which countless creatures depend on. Species like the lesser spotted woodpecker, for example, which feeds upon insects and invertebrates that it finds within standing deadwood. The gradual loss of ancient woodland habitats has resulted in huge declines for this bird, and it's now the UK's rarest woodpecker. Unfortunately, and perhaps surprisingly, despite their rarity and preciousness, ancient woodlands lack any sort of robust legal protection and are under genuine threat from being virtually lost from our landscape. The biggest threat to ancient woodlands today is from development, be it the construction of new roads, housing estates, railways. All these developments threaten to slowly chip away pieces of ancient woodland or destroy them altogether. Now, Scottish and UK governments recognise the importance of these habitats, and they state that there is a strong presumption against their removal. However, the reality is that this statement is not worth the paper it is written on. The lack of legislation protecting ancient woodlands means that ultimately they can be removed with relative ease. When a development plan involves the destruction of ancient woodland, one common mitigating solution is to undertake compensatory tree planting. However, while tree planting is a useful way of creating new woodlands, it is a completely inadequate and frankly unacceptable remedy of replacing an ancient ecosystem that has taken centuries to develop. The complex web of life that specifically depends on ancient woodland ecosystems will be lost, never to return. It cannot survive in a newly planted wood, and we cannot expect it to simply reappear again out of nowhere. Once we start to remove ancient woodland habitats, the harder it becomes for the biodiversity to cling on, and ultimately becomes harder for us to restore these habitats. Well folks, we've reached the end of this video, the third and final part of a 3-part rewilding mini-series. If you haven't seen the other 2 videos, you can head over to the Woodlands TV channel where you'll be able to see them. And if you check the link in the description below, you'll be able to find a link to my channel where I've made some of my own rewilding videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please feel free to leave a comment telling us what you think about today's video. Thank you very much for watching.